My name's Dick Ruzzin, and I'm on my way out to Los Angeles, but I'm also going to the Petersen Museum, where I'll be reviewing Joe Bortz special Motorama cars. And Los Angeles has the Petersen. That's where I'll be going. Okay, here we are at the Petersen. I've spoken to Johnny on the phone, and he's going to be waiting for us. We're here at the entrance, which is quite spectacular. There's an incredible sculpture here. And Johnny told me they were really excited about the response to the exhibit, Motorama car exhibit, and we're looking forward to seeing it, and we'll be doing a lot.
Let's go on in.
Okay, let's go. Are in the Petersen now, and we're here with Johnny Eisen. And Johnny is the designer of the exhibit.
I don't know if you know how serious Earl was about relaunching LaSalle. Because LaSalle, there hadn't been a LaSalle since I think '39.
And general manager might say something like, you know, I wish we could do something and bring LaSalle back. You know, we need something really exciting. And so decided to do a sports car. So it would be an idea that people knew Harley Earl liked it, and so people would sketch it in different times, trying to find the magic combination, you know, to make it successful.
Okay. All right, guys, so these cars are for the Motorama, but I don't know what the Motorama is. Like, what the heck was Motorama and why?
Well, what happened was Alfred P. Sloan, who had been hired to pull all the different companies that GM had at that time together and start to make them work together in a more profitable way, would have a press event in New York City at the Waldorf Astoria. And at that press event would be about 9 or 10 of the top GM people. And the pictures are interesting. It shows the table and about 30 microphones on it, you know, the way press things used to be. And at that event, someone came up with the idea of having a program to promote General Motors that would travel the country. Ended up doing two different kinds of events. One was called Motorama, in which they developed a lot of cars. Almost 100 vehicles were specially done for Motorama. They traveled across the country. They hired young people out of college to do internships. And a lot of those young people later went into positions at GM and became, you know, at very high levels. But so the cars were created at Designs, and so the Motorama cars were everything from unique cars like these to maybe a Cadillac painted a special color or with a special interior, and altogether there were almost 100 of them. And along with the cars were created a vehicle called Futureliner, which was like a big bus.
You must not be just the standard museum goer to get into this car, eh?
I guess not.
You must be somebody special. Wow. What car are you sitting in right now?
This is the Pontiac Parisienne. Pontiac Parisienne. And the black with a beigey pink leather interior. Boss's boss was named Paul Gillen. responsible for the design. Joe talks about this car as never being restored. Okay, as we walk over this way, Johnny and I just spoke about the images that are on the wall, and the General Motors archives, as well as the GM design archives, they're connected, and they provided all of these. I was there recently working with Cristo Dettini. It's great to get that material.
It is, yeah. Well, we work with Cristo. I email him all the time.
You know him, yeah.
And he's amazing because you.
The one thing, I think I have written a better description of this in the book, but one thing, the thing that Harley Earl did, he put drama into the automobile. He made it dynamic. In other words,
At the Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah.
Like in a city where very few people had cars.
if you look at that whole roof, appeared on several Cadillacs, and on into the production Cadillacs.
Right. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And so, like the like the Biscayne, this is a step down size. Like
Yeah.
This is a much more
Look how
compact.
small
form.
this car is. It's
Yeah,
tiny.
compared to a contemporary car. Wow.
Yeah, and again, 55. Cars had big tail fins, lots of chrome. This one's got more chrome than the Biscayne.
Yeah.
But still, it's a very.
What year was this one?
55.
Okay, well, it's got the Corvette steering wheel.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you,
Wow.
restoring one of these, man.
Does he have any intention to restore this car? Do you know, John?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Joe. I know
Oh,
he
I have
wanted
to
to
ask
leave
him.
one in its as found state.
Yeah.
Which is kind of it's kind of a
That's probably this one.
Yeah. So he that's this one.
But this whole roof, in fact, what's the Cadillac with the stainless roof? That 57?
Buritz.
No, it might be an Eldorado, something Eldorado, I think. 4-door. It's got the doors that open like this.
Yeah.
It's got the stainless roof. It's got this whole roof. The windshield isn't as round as
That's
that.
got that windshield we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah, quite dramatic.
Astrodome, they called that one.
Did they? I know this one, I had several conversations with him in the late 90s, and it took him a long time to get this car finished. And so he's so proud of this car, and he's especially proud of the fact that there are several design elements on it that appear on other cars, and one of them, of course, very prominently is the Corvair. And he's really proud of the fact that these Corvair taillights and appear on the Corvair. So there are a number of elements that were unique to this car. This was one of the early fiberglass models that were built at GM Styling at the time when Harley Earl was there, and a number of cars were built, and they were experimenting in their shops with handling and using fiberglass. And it was quite unknown at that time as to what would happen with it in terms of timing. They didn't know what would happen in 3 years, 5 years, but they tried to understand it. They had a lot of input and help from the industry.